Hello, PTD-103 Client Intake and Assessment. My name is Jonathan Young, or a lot of people call me Coach Young, and I'll be your instructor for the module. Happy to have you. I thought I'd start off with just a couple pointers, tips, and hacks for this class so that you can do well. Um, Let me start with, let me actually go to our study resources. I've made this document up and it's got all 8 weeks of the course in it and supplemental materials in here. And let me see, where did we go? Ah, overview and hacks for PTD 103 client intake and assessment. So usually this course is paired with PTD 101, which is your first anatomy course. It's a part of two courses, but it's your anatomy one class. And the first 3 weeks of PTD 101 are pretty aggressive, right? So you're learning planes of motion in the first week, which can be a mind twister. You're learning the bones of the skeleton in the second week. And in the third week, you're learning the muscles. Okay. So what I would do is I would definitely use the tutors for PTD 101 mandatory. I would definitely use them. Also, there are games online that help teach you the muscles like Poke a Muscle or Whack a Bone. They're like little arcade games that make learning the bones and the muscles that NASM wants you to know really fun. It also helps if you know what the definition of the names mean in Greek and Latin. Is if you understand those, making anatomy understandable becomes a lot easier. So just a little tip on that. But for the first 3 weeks, focus on PTD 101 because in our course, it's relatively smooth sailing for the first 3 weeks. We're going over forms. And if we don't know forms really well, you'll go broken insane. So it's important to know, but it's not academically aggressive. Week 2 is continuation from that. And then we're doing resting measures, fitness assessment resting measures in week 3. Week 4 and on in this course is where it starts to get a little bit more engaging. Like you're going to have to study the textbook and see what the textbook has to say. Okay. At the last 3 weeks are definitely kind of like the reverse of PTD 101. This course is back end heavy. So the last 3 weeks are aggressive. You've got an assignment that's worth 100 points here in week 6. You've got static and postural uh, um, static assessments in week 7. And this one's really important because there's a whole chapter, I think it's chapter 12, devoted to static and dynamic postural assessments with NASM. And they're the only one out of the 3 top governing bodies, ACSM, NASM, NSCA, that do corrective exercise approaches and functional movement patterns the way NASM does. So you can bet your money on your NASM CPT exam that they're going to want the trainers that they're turning out that are passing that exam to really know static and dynamic postural assessments really well because that's what NASM is known for. Okay. And then in week 8, there's another assignment worth 100 points right here. Now, even though there's a high point value for these assignments, they're not super difficult. Okay. Um, okay, so a few more hacks. So I mentioned the first bullet here. The second bullet, we want to use this document right here, this Google Doc. It's got all sorts of really interesting information. Here's like kind of like the blueprint of what the NASM CPT is like. Notice that assessment is worth close to 20%. So chapters 11 and 12 in the textbook are going to be about 20% of your test. You're going to do program design as well in there. That's the OPT model. You probably haven't hit that yet. You'll hit that with PTD 104, I think. But that's going over your acute program variables for program design. That is also important to know. So these are all links. Okay. This one right here is letting you know that the first half of our associates program, so the first almost a year, okay, is basically getting you employable. So we're going to have you take the NASM CP Certified Personal Trainer exam. That definitely, if you show that credential to people out there running gyms, you're going to have their attention because that's a really hard certification. to get. That helps make you employable in the gym. And then the second part of our associates is how to make your future career here in training and coaching profitable. And there's actually, this is my favorite part of the associates right here is the second half, where we teach you things like, for example, if we have a husband and wife, husband wants to put on mass, weight gain big time, wife wants to lose weight big time, very contrasting goals. How can you train that couple together in a group fashion so that they feel like they're a team, but also they're hitting their individualized specific goals? Okay, so that's called individualized group training, and there's a really great class on that. You can look forward to that. That can springboard your profitability up from $40,000 to $90,000 a year. All right, so each of the weeks there's information in here that kind of augments what we're learning in our Canvas course. So I would highly, highly recommend that you use this Google document weekly. If we take a look in our course, you're going to see it right up here in the top with the top of this pre-start module right here, and that will give you that access right there to the presentation document. The second thing that I want to mention is use Yellow Dig. So this is my area or my platform outside of Canvas that I can actually use to share with you industry insights that have been hard learned. So there's a lot of things that I want to share and pass on to you guys so you guys become even better trainers than what I've managed to do. I want you to pay it forward. A lot of really good tips that will save you. Oh, well, I'm thinking of one of them, in fact, that would take you a year to figure out before you start making good money. And I'm sharing it to you right here in Yellow Dig. And that one is developing a client pool. Best way to market yourself is to teach a group exercise class. Don't be the shark in the gym and try and solicit yourself for clients in the gym. It makes you look needy. Nobody likes it. Better to teach a group exercise class, and you'll hear more about that later. But definitely use Yellow Dig in here. I'll put lecture videos. So on this one right here, there's the lecture video for week 1. And then there's some other supplementary material in the comments. I'll put pro tips. And this is like, for example, this one right here. What happens if you turn a client away because of a health contraindication, right? What happens with that client? Here's another one here about how to make training fun, which is an extremely important aspect of the job. What real clients might experience when they're on their journey to, let's say, lose weight or get fit. It's different from what we envision, oftentimes their experience. So these are all pro tips that are going to help you in the industry. Here's a little bit about Coach Young here. But I just wanted to give you just a very quick introduction to what you can expect in the course. Definitely an important course because right now, today, there's a lot of trainers out there that never conduct a fitness assessment. How can you guarantee somebody a goal, a fitness goal or the results that they're looking for if you are not able to measure it? We have to be able to measure it and have a pre-assessment and a post-assessment. Very, very important. I look forward to seeing you guys in the course. Bye for now.